success are we. Learn the real estate investment. Failure is not an option, it's just a test. And we ain't gonna stop. LRE, one-on-one integrity. LRE, students of success are we. Learn the real estate investment. Failure is not an option, it's just a test. And we ain't gonna stop. On this letter campaign, it's a numbers game. Send your letters out, man. But the main thing is that your mindset must be laser focused, cause we not magicians. This ain't no hocus pocus. Expect what you want, cause that's what you get. It ain't gonna fall at the sky. I ain't seen that yet. I ain't gonna make a bet, cause I'm not a gambler. No risk. At $1 down, how can you not do this? Find a motivated seller, really motivated. And stop wasting too much time with these hesitators. Add investors to your buyers list. 9 chances out of 10, ain't no deal with them. Cause we need crazy discounts. Cause we wholesalers, ready to flip. And we ain't tripping, we ain't holding nothing. All cash and quick turnarounds. Remember, just $1 down. LRE, one-on-one integrity. LRE, students of success are we. Learn the real estate investment. Failure is not an option, it's just a test. And we ain't gonna stop. LRE, one-on-one integrity. LRE, students of success are we. Learn the real estate investment. Failure is not an option, it's just a test. And we ain't gonna stop. Learn to negotiate, but don't get caught up. Let me reiterate, you're only spending $1, man. Get your phone ringing and just listen up. On your 3-way calls and zip your lips up. Learn to be a good follower, cause every great leader was a great follower. Holla, hear me. Learn your terms like mayo and hey yo. Your maximum allowable offer must be low. And if your ARV is what you need to be, then soon you can cash out and go free and be what you was born to be. It's not a wannabe, it's just an educational track from LRE. And do like Haywood and Lola told ya, be an LRE soldier, not a folder. Know why you're doing this, cause that's gonna hold you.
Coming back at y'all. Haywood Barber, the Haywood Barber Show, the Harlem Heretic, clicking it back on part 2 of President Obama's hoax. And you know, I was going to be done with it, but I'm not, because these guys are just furious. I'm actually listening on the radio right now with Crazy Hannity, Sean Hannity. You know, and you know, I'm a firm believer that God will come back at you with the stupidness and the nonsense that, you know, people try and put on you. God got a real tricky way of hitting you back in the face when you blasphemy and you lying on people for no reason. And Sean Hannity is a liar, and he won't deal with the facts, and he won't deal with the fact that President Bush, Cheney, the Cheneys, and the crooks of the Cheneys clan pushed President Bush, in my opinion, into 2 wars again to hide from the robbery and the thievery that was going on. And look, I was just listening to on Sean Hannity's show, and he does a good job. I have to give him this. He does a good job of bringing other people on that have a completely different perspective than he has. However, I don't know the lady's name, but I give her her due. And then he had this clown on that just kept reiterating the same things that she heard Sean say. That's all she was doing. She wasn't stating any facts that she brought to the table on her own, other than she mentioned something about the unemployment rate isn't really going down. It's actually stabilized, or has actually gone up, and it's been the worst that it's been since 1948. And the only reason why that's how bad it is it's never been that, it hasn't been that bad since 1948, and that the real deal is that most of the people that were looking for jobs are no longer looking for jobs. So hello, tell me, what in the hell are those people doing now? Have they found something else to do? Maybe they have actually pulled themselves up from the bootstraps to do something better, or becoming entrepreneurs, which sometimes the GOP wants that, but really they don't want that when it's that man, that particular man. And I know that sometimes people try to say it's because he's black, but we're not going to do that. right? We're not gonna say that these people just hate him simply because he's black, because that's preposterous. We know that there's no racism, or there's very little racism, or absolutely no reason why they would not like just because he's black and not like him, or just because he was a community organizer. That's not a reason. That's a reason not to like him. No, that wouldn't even be it. Or the fact that he come from Chicago, and we know that Chicago has produced, well, I was going to say produced corrupt leaders in the past, but we know that Chicago has just been unlucky. Their corrupt leaders have just been caught. So that's it. I mean, you know, Sean Hannity doesn't even know, or he does know, but he pretends like he doesn't know, that the Bushes lied. The Cheneys has been crooks all his life, and all the people associated with him have been crooks. The company Blackwater that he established is nothing but a storefront. I mean, it's no different than having a storefront on Jamaica Avenue in Jamaica, Queens, selling marijuana. Actually, it's worse. It's just a simple. Blackwater is nothing but a complete front for stealing from America and stealing from our children and grandchildren. This is blatant thievery, right in your face. Now, I'm not the one that's going to say that Bush and Cheney knew. Well, I think they knew that something was going to happen in terms of the World Trade Center. I believe they knew for a fact. And that's not for a fact, but I believe that. That's my opinion, that they knew. All right? I think that they did know. I won't go as far as to say that they were the ones that did it, because that's just, oh. But would I put it past them? Absolutely not. From what I've seen them both do over the last 8 years, and what I see still going on with what they're doing. So this nonsense about what the Bush administration did, putting us and lied to us about the two wars, Sean Hannity will never deal with that up front, and he will make sure, as powerful as this young lady was, he shut her down. He will never let her get her words out, and he will try and do his best to mumble and muffle you. I saw him do that on his show with Russell Simmons. When Russell Simmons came on, and Russell Simmons is a rich guy, so he expected Russell Simmons to fall for his nonsense about taxes and all that kind of stuff, and Russell says, absolutely not. I know I can take care of myself, but I know that there are other people that can't take care of themselves. Bam! And this is why I say that I flipped from the GOP, because yes, I did realize that, yeah, because I was a go-getter and I was a rusher and a pusher and I made things happen, I know that there are other people in my community that DNA had been stripped from. That belief, that courage has been beaten out of them. I mean, everybody knows the story about where you could take an elephant or a monkey and condition them to completely discount their genetic behavior. You can condition it. You can take an elephant that is strong as 3 Mack trucks, stronger than that, but you can condition that elephant to take a little rope, wrap it around his ankle, and he'll never move. Never move. And he can snap that rope with just one pull. But you can condition him, and you can condition all his children, all the children of the previous elephants, in a snap of a finger. So Sean Hannity is bullshit. Is full of doodle. It's bullshit. It's just whack. And he know. But thing about it, he knows it, and he's doing his best, and he's doing a good job. Him and both Rush Limbaugh, Mike Savage, they condition their listeners to believe this horse shit. It's pretty pathetic, if you ask me. But their people believe that. But I don't even think that they believe it. Matter of fact, I know they don't believe it the same way that Sean Hannity or the media that I can't call them conservative because it's not real. And I can't call it, well, let's call it right-wing media, right? Because they're not really conservative because it's all a game. It's a trick. It's a shell and pea game. Pea and shell game. It's really just smoke and mirrors. It's an illusion. It's Copperfield at its best. And I don't think that they actually, I know that they don't believe what they're selling. They're just trying to incite in order to get more listeners. Their listeners, they believe it. And it's a shame that they're leading them down this path with such trash. But what are you going to do? I mean, people have been doing that for years, and they don't even understand what they're doing for a guy like Cheney and the thievery. Because, see, even though that they know better, having a guy like Cheney on, or supporting a guy like Cheney, helps the cause. And even though they're really in a somewhat of a niche market, they got a strong enough following in order to support their commercial base that then allows them to make money. Now, both Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, these guys are rich guys. So, in a sense, when they don't want the taxes to go up for the rich, they're pretending to the audience that it doesn't affect them, but it does affect them in a huge way. Because, see, what they really care about, if you think about it, these guys are really selfish. I mean, if you really dig down, they don't really care about America. They never did. And I told you already that Sean Hannity, he started out as a conspiracy theorist, which means that he really started out as a shock jock. He's no different than Don Imus or Howard Stern. He just absolutely put himself on, and it was a mistake. He put himself on the conservative banner because when they kicked him off of the radio show, what he said is that they kicked me off the show simply because I'm a conservative. They won't let me exercise my constitutional rights. Now look, Sean Hannity is a liar. He's an absolute liar. And he is that's the word. He is I better not say that because I don't know if I can get away with saying that on the show right now. See, right now, I'm not trying to protect anything, so I don't care if they come after me. But I still want to be able to have my days of free speech. And that's why I can say what I'm saying. I will continue to say. But he's a liar, and he's following people down a path, and it's going to bite him in the ass because it's all BS. And quite frankly, if he believes, well, we're not even going to do that. But, and again, it was a mistake. He's a liar, and he's using his people, and he's using a banner, and he's using the constitutional rights, which, the Constitution, as it stands, I believe in it, and I think it's absolutely good stuff. Absolutely. Was it written by liars? Please, come on. So, and if you're telling me that this is not a valid reason because of the founders that wrote it and then were hypocrites, that's the word I wanted to use. I could use that word for him, right? Yeah. He's a hypocrite. People that wrote the Constitution, hypocrites. So I'm going to start studying the Constitution just so we can point out the hypocrisy that's in it. Because I think that the words themselves, we the people, are strong. Because how can we the people not include people of color? People from other parts of the world? Women? How could we the people not include that? These were not dumb men. These were smart men that was trying to backdoor what they were actually writing. So now that we have it and we have it right, or we're trying to get it right, at some point, they tried to assassinate President Obama for being in the congregation of Reverend Wright when Reverend Wright mentioned America's roosters are coming home to hatch, or whatever the quote is. I don't even remember what it was. I mean, to a certain extent, if you're going to be perfectly honest with yourself, perfectly honest, are you serious that that's not true? We don't know that America, on certain fronts, I love this country. I'm staying. I'm not going anywhere. And I love what it stood for, or what it says it was standing for, or what it says that it stands for. So I want to be here to bring it to life. I want to be here to let my grandkids see it be real. If you wrote the words and you expect those words to mean anything to every single individual that lives here, that comes here and can see us as that shining place on the mountain, as one of my heroes said, then you have to stand up on it, and you have to be able to take the truth when you have stepped in it. And you certainly have. This country has been in more people's, in more nations, situations under the banner of nation building than any other people in the history of the world, even more so than the United Kingdom. And for Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, the other kooky clown, I almost never talk about him because he's so full. He's going to bust a vessel. When I listen to him in the morning sometimes just to get different ideas of what I'm going to talk about on my show, Glenn Beck. Hey, oh my goodness, this guy is, he is beyond being a clown. He would be the court jester. He would be, no, he can't even be that. This guy's like Lauren Hardy. He is both Abbott and Costello. It's absolutely just beyond bizarre, the world that he lives in, and him and his team. But look, one thing I do appreciate, I'm going to get me a team too, so that we can espouse or talk about the things that we see and the way we feel, and we're going to stay on it as the truth. See, I don't care if a President Obama turned out to be a shyster and typical Chicagoan and doing the crazy things. From a truth standpoint, I will call him out. See, I don't believe that just because somebody you like, he does something or she does something wrong, you still protect them. I think that is ridiculous. And just because he's a black man and I'm a black man, I protect him just because. That's not out of the question. And that's exactly what Glenn Beck, Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, John Savage, Curtis Sewall, whatever his name is, all of these guys are doing. But they're doing it for the most part. And I'll say probably everybody that I mentioned, except for the last guy, Curtis something or other, because he doesn't know better. But these guys are doing it really just to line their pockets. They are absolutely no different than Cheney. That's why they can protect Cheney, because they're crooks. See, those guys, right-wing media, will protect a crook like Cheney, even though they're in different industries, if you will. The reason why they will protect him is because he fuels the fire to allow them to then trick and bamboozle their listeners to listen to their commercials. And if you watch these guys, if you think about it, regular radio probably does 6-minute commercials, and then they get back to the content. And their content typically is, if they're doing sports announcing or doing music or whatever entertaining that they're doing, these guys are getting away with doing about 11 minutes in their commercials. And they are actually lying to you by telling you that they got their product. Now, they do have it because they was given the product, or maybe even they pretended to buy the product in order to be able to say legitimately, again, there is no legitimacy in this. They are lying to their listeners to get them to participate in the products that they're making reference to, because the owners of the products are using them in order to solicit their business. But they're liars, and they're using their people, and they're not the things that they believe deep down in their heart, they're not even saying to their listeners, which makes it that much. Look, I mean, I invite you, for the heck of it, to go listen to their shows. I have nothing to lose, and their audience obviously is bigger than mine, and some might even say that I would be jealous, but I'm not jealous. I'm going to continue to listen to their shows because they give me information, and I want to give you information, and I want you to be fortified when you come across one of their nitwits that are listening to this mantra, this marching chant that they are giving their audience, so that you know how combat or how to dispel that nonsense. And I kid you not, it's craziness. Sean Hannity, I'm listening to some of his stuff right now.
I left in 1980, and I started in 1962, but I took a lot of time out at various points to do research projects and stuff like that. So maybe 15 years, 18, something like that.
Do you agree with me that every human being has the potential to be great, and that we've so...
See, and that's again one of Sean Hannity lies about thinking. See, he will never admit. See, he will mention from time to time reparations, but I'm not on reparations. I don't think that that's what black people need anyway. I think what they need is their brains to be rewashed from a lot of the nonsense that was ripped from them. And so in a sense, America is getting what they did. They created, if they want to say that, you got lazy women and men sitting around doing nothing, and they getting such and such amount of money from the government. Well, that's the reparations that they're going to get. Because look, the fact of the matter is that they absolutely stole a culture from a people. They stole it, and then they want to act as if that's nothing to be concerned about. And it's just get over it, as I mentioned in part 1 of President Obama's hoax. I mean, this is how these people will think. Hey, it happened, so just get over it. And so you will never hear him say anything in reference to the fact that they did this to these people for as long as they have, and has done it. And do you not think that a guy like Rush Limbaugh, he's not a dummy, he's a clown, but he's not a dummy. Sean Hannity, well, but he's a clown as well. Is he a dummy or not? I mean, I don't want to do that. And maybe I should flip that a little bit, because I've seen Rush Limbaugh say some of the most outlandish things on the planet. But again, he's a shock jock, so he's trying to shock you. Right, so you can talk about it, so that he can. I mean, he's doing the water cooler effect on his listeners and on anybody, even for me. I mean, it's just preposterous. But I laugh the whole time. My son and I, we talk about this all the time. These guys are absolute comedians, purposely, and they're paid very well, as comedians should, because they make us laugh, and you should not take a peep of it at its worth. You shouldn't listen to absolutely none of it, because most of it is absolutely insane information. But they do. They have their listeners hypnotized. If you want to know the truth of my opinion, they have them hypnotized into believing this, and they actually are walking the earth, especially in this country, armed with this information, and they believe it. They have not yet pulled back the curtain and see that it's a man. It's not real. So, if you believe anything that a Glenn Beck, a Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, John Savage, these guys, they're simply trying to incite. They're actually troublemakers. And if you ever bring truth to their shows, they'll completely discount you, talk over you, never give you the opportunity to finish a complete thought that makes sense or is relevant or dispels the nonsense that they're making reference to. See, because they don't want to do that. They want to keep you off topic. They want to keep chanting the same old line over and over. These people are just simply taking advantage of the country, and they're taking the money, and they don't care. You know, it's preposterous. Remember, and they're smart enough to know that they know what they have done to different groups of people in this country, different groups of people around the world. America has been meddling in other people's business for a long time. So don't buy it. So if you're doing the water cooler thing and somebody comes up and say, oh, Obama is this and Mr. Obama is that and this and that, don't follow that nonsense. Because then you will fall and you'll be a hypocrite like he is. Now let's see what he's talking about. He's saying, oh, another commercial. You know, it's amazing. This guy got more commercials, has more commercials on his show than anything else. But we're gonna track out, and I'm gonna play the song again, right? Because again, it's so good the way God brought this back up. I got myself all juiced up. I might have to do a part 3 on this one. But I am juiced up. And trying to figure out my machinery here, which I just messed it up. So let's see if I can get it going. But definitely you want to start thinking about real estate. Real estate, real estate, real estate. It's coming back, and the boom this time is going to be bigger than ever because we went down so far. Once again, family, this is Haywood Barber, the Haywood Barber Show, the Harlem Heretic, bringing it to you real, just the way I see it. I'm just giving it to you the way I see it, so you can hear it the way it is.
Learn real estate investment. It's not an option, it's just a test. And we ain't gonna stop. LRE, one-on-one integrity. LRE, students of success are we. Learn real estate investment. It's not an option, it's just a test. And we ain't gonna stop. Yo, we be caught up in the rat race. Somebody move my cheese. Now I'm caught in the paper chase. In that case, I need to do something different to make a change, or just call me insane. Locked, trapped, shackled in the daily repetition, inertia without the power to act. Now what's up with that? Maybe I need to be let in on the secret, the law of attraction. And this trap is not an accident. With my thoughts, man, I brought this on myself. So if I change my thoughts, then I can bring something else. That's why I write this, cause something came to me. As an answer to my prayers, it's called LRE. One-on-one, son, and you can get some. Through people, places, and things comes your blessing. So learn to bless one when you get one. Right? Give to get one, pass the test, son. LRE, one-on-one integrity. LRE, students of success are we. Learn real estate investment. It's not an option, it's just a test. And we ain't gonna stop. LRE, one-on-one integrity. LRE, students of success are we. Learn real estate investment. It's not an option, it's just a test. And we ain't gonna stop. On this letter campaign, it's a numbers game. Send your letters out, man. But the main thing is that your mindset must be laser focused, cause we not magicians. This ain't no hocus pocus. expect what you want, cause that's what you get. It ain't gonna fall at the sky, I ain't seen that yet. I ain't gonna make a bet, cause I'm not a gambler, no risk. At $1 down, how can you not do this? Find a motivated seller, really motivated. And stop wasting too much time with these hesitators. Add investors to your buyers list. 9 chances out of 10, ain't no deal with them. Cause we need crazy discounts, cause we wholesalers ready to flip. And we ain't tripping, we ain't holding up. All cash and quick turnarounds. And remember, just $1 down. LRE, one-on-one integrity. LRE, scoops of success are we. Learning real estate investment and failure is not an option, it's just a test. And we ain't gonna stop. LRE, one-on-one integrity. LRE, students of success are we. Learning real estate investment and failure is not an option, it's just a test. And we ain't gonna stop. Learn to negotiate, but don't get caught up. Let me reiterate, you only spending money.